This is the Peter Greenwood Show at the Edinburgh Fringe. And I know exactly where I am. I have two guests on the show today. Could you tell me your names and your show title, please?
We are Emmeline Hartley.
And I'm Jack Mullings.
And our show is We Had Fun.
What is We Had Fun?
Well, it's a conversation between two friends who have a fundamental disagreement about something they both remember differently, and it's about them trying to find a middle ground if one exists.
There's definitely an anti-rom-com vibe, and it delves into some of the greyest areas of sexual politics in this current age.
So, where did the show come from? What's its origin story?
So in 2019, I made a short film with BFI funded, and it was called Keep Breathing, and that film was about sexual consent and very much asked the question of, like, is this situation consensual or not? And it sort of went into the grey areas of it all. And that film has gone viral since making it. In 2022, that was a big viral year for it. The clips of the film went onto TikTok, and they were taken out of context and weaponized by the manosphere. Of course it was. Who claimed it as a film highlighting how easily women make false accusations. So that was really interesting and happened against the backdrop of the whole Depp Heard trial, and also prima facie blowing up, and started to want to ask a different question. So sort of we took the film and worked with some barristers to kind of put together what a trial would have looked like between those two characters had it have gone to court. And then we used that as a blueprint to write this show, which is a domestic argument, but that trial is very much underneath as we're kind of playing with how easily a story, a narrative, recontextualization, and our own biases can form possibly the wrong response or the wrong ideas. So it all kind of came from there.
So what was it like taking that film and putting it into a show and expanding it? Because how long was the short film compared to the story you're telling now?
So the short film was 18 minutes, and this is 65 minutes. I wouldn't say we've expanded it, because we've now got very different characters with a different dynamic, because we're asking a different question. But we have used the structural mechanisms of the film. So the lift, like they kind of get stuck in a broken lift together as the argument's playing out, which is essentially our witness box, and the sort of cutting back to the flashbacks and stuff. The show, because it's asking a different question, it definitely gives a different ending, and the situation itself is the greyness of it is different.
So how did you get involved in this, Jack? Were you in the short film, or?
No, I didn't have anything to do with Keep Breathing. Emmeline and I met while training at drama school in Birmingham, and we were kind of, friends, sort of in contact with each other post the pandemic years. And Emmeline had started writing the show and had been taking it to scratch nights to show bits and pieces of it and see if it worked. And the actor who was usually reading in with them wasn't available. Was he ill?
I don't know. No, I think he was just doing another show.
He was just busy. And
Betrayal.
yeah.
That's what I thought, Tom, if you're listening.
Yeah, Tom.
Could be you sat here now, Tom. But look where we are now. And Tom wasn't available for whatever reason. And said, would you just come and read this script in front of an audience with me? So I went along, which would have been at the Arena Theatre in Wolverhampton.
No, that one was Nottingham Playhouse, I think.
Playhouse.
Or the Cockpit in London. We did many.
And afterwards, we were just kind of talking about the show and kind of back and forthing. And around the same time, we went to see Prima Facie when it was NT Live broadcasted. And we were just talking, and said it would be really useful to get a male perspective and sort of what the the natural response would be to that situation as a man, whatever that statement means. And I was initially was quite not reluctant, but I didn't want to come in as a man and, you know, trample over things. But it has been really useful to have our perspectives. So we kind of went from there, really, and it's snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and here we are, dear listener, or watcher, as the case may be.
Or both.
Yeah, or both.
Or neither.
Yeah.
It was quite clear from the start that the second we sat down, I think even before that first scratch night we did together to look at the feedback from the last one that I did with Tom, Jack and I started looking at the script and the feedback and just reworking things together, and then we did it after each scratch night as we did more and more, and it was just so blatantly obvious that we needed, to me anyway, that we needed to write this thing together, like our chemistry, the way that we saw things, and best of all, like the way that if we disagreed on something, every single time we compromised and found a middle ground, it was always better than for both of us from what either of us were thinking in the first place. And so I asked Jack to do this with me. I didn't feel like I could do it without both perspectives, just because of the ways our brains complement each other, I guess.
How did you feel, though, bringing in somebody else to help tell this story, set against the fact that your earlier short film had been taken and corrupted? How did that feel?
Organic. I think the film was written, there was 3 of us writing the film. It was my kind of concept, but I worked very closely with 2 guys, Tommy and Mark. Mark was our director, and Tommy's a fantastic writer. And so I'd already kind of collaborated before and found it really useful. Not that I don't trust myself, but actually the opposite. Like because it's so grey, I think you really do need, like, we're entering territory that there is no legislation for, or there's, you know, it's still really early days for any kind of frameworks being built, even when talking about it or teaching about it. So I think just having more perspectives is really important. Like with the film, we surveyed over 500 people, and those survey responses also fed into the show. And when we R&D'd it, we had some Arts Council funding, and we had, I think in the end, about 30 people we worked with really closely and collaborated with on it, and every single opinion is so crucial. We did lots of focus groups as well that the Survivors Trust set up for us, and so like it can't be something you tackle by yourself, because the whole point is that everyone interprets things differently or communicates differently, which is what sort of brings us into these sticky sort of situations in the first place. So and just the way that Jack and I were learning to communicate with each other, like, or handle things like disagreements and you know, in the creative process and stuff, like all of that just it made it richer. And I think the script really reflects just how well we've been able to incorporate sort of so many different interpretations and thoughts.
I would agree.
Wow. No compromise necessary here.
What were some of the biggest disagreements that you had while you were putting it together? And was there ever a point when, and I mean this with the greatest respect, like, was it strictly your idea and you were like, this is what I want, I like your idea, but we're going to go this way? How did you overcome that?
I think that's a direct question to you.
Oh.
It's for anybody.
Somebody. Oh, okay.
I mean, I haven't been easy to work with, because I think because I'm so like passionate about this stuff and have been working on it for so long, so I don't think it's been easy for you to step in. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious more to hear what you think, Jack, because I feel like it's been really.
I think the main. So you said sort of the biggest, which is very good questioning. It should create interesting dialogue. But I think annoyingly the best answer is probably quite a tame one, which is which had not very much to do with the dialogue or characters or anything. But there was a point where we knew that the piece would have other hands come to it. You know, a director, a choreographer, that kind of thing. a dramaturg potentially, and I was quite keen and invested in the idea of creating kind of non-character, non-story creative ideas. So I got really invested in this idea of like a soundscape, and I was like writing all these really interesting, well, I thought they were interesting, ideas for soundscapes and kind of transitionary language and audio language that I was going to say picture, but hear very clearly in my head. And Em was strongly feeling that we should leave that space for other creatives to come in and make their stamp on it. And the reason I say that it's the tame, boring answer is because it was, rather than a big like, no, I want this, I would like this, we should do that, it was an extended thing of, I really think that, the thing stayed in the script for a while, and then it got trimmed back, and then it got toned down, and then we just went, you know what, let's just cut the whole thing out and let a sound designer come in, let a director come in and make all those decisions. But it was kind of like, it was a point where our creative reach as individuals differed, and it was like, I was like, oh yeah, let's take ownership of this whole thing, and wanted to leave space for others to come in, which I'm really glad that we did, because like our sound designer and our director have just been amazing and have filled in all those gaps in ways that I could have never come up with myself, which is a very diplomatic answer. Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I've got two.
Oh, good.
We had a big argument about the tarantula.
Yeah.
In front of everyone at the R&D, and everyone at the R&D sided equally between us. And then basically that argument ended up in the script.
That's true.
So there was that one, and then so it really did help us to write it. And then the other thing was about the whole sort of HR thread.
Oh, yeah.
Where you thought that Jack sometimes feels like I'm putting things in for the sake of it, because I get an idea and I get so passionate about it, and I'm like, oh, I've found it, I found the thing, and I can be very, like, once I've sort of hyper focused on something, I can be very short sighted about sort of anything else, but like, so it's just, and I get really like anxious about having to convince my case or justify myself, and then I stop being able to articulate my thoughts because I'm so like panicky about it, and I'm a mess. So like it was more me falling apart just because he was just like, okay, why?
Well, it's what's the turn of phrase? Talk to many people. What's the turn of phrase? It's an X of two halves. What is it? Or can you put whatever word you?
Two sides?
Yeah, let's go with that. It's a coin of two sides. Because the flip side of being very like focused on something is that I have to have the entire landscape of a thing visible so that I can. I hope that's not too figurative of language, but for example, if we use the HR thing, I would be like, yeah, but why? Why? What's the function? What's the purpose? I need to have the full interconnectedness of a thing in order for it to work in my head. So that's been a useful creative push and pull. Is Emma will be like, this, and I'm like, but why? Just trust me, because it'll work. It's like when someone doesn't have a recipe written, they just like eyeball stuff, and I'm like, no, I need to know what the recipe is. I need to know why we're putting 2 tablespoons of paprika into this jelly. That makes no sense.
That's the way you put. I mean, I'm not here to judge. You can put paprika wherever you like.
Thank you. You heard it here first.
Well, we always talk about the building the car. Like I will drive the car, but it doesn't have to be a car. I'll drive anything. I'll drive a cardboard box. Whereas Jack really needs to build the car and build all the mechanics and build the everything before being able to drive it. And I think that's the biggest thing that we come up against, like with everything when we're collaborating.
Em likes to say, let's just try it, and I'll say, but yeah, can I read all the ingredients before I try it? Metaphorically, of course. Yeah, Em's like, why not this? And I'm like, please explain it to me for 2 hours. But Em's like, well, we need to just get something in so we can just try it out. I know, but I really need to understand every possible facet of why we're putting this thing in. Do you though? Yeah, I do. I won't cope otherwise. So yeah, that's part of the whole learning to communicate sort of thing.
Bloody table is all over the place. Sorry. Yeah,
You're grand.
Big plunk. It's because it normally wiggles, but it's balanced on my foot, and I keep forgetting and moving my foot.
We could put my wallet under it if you like.
I keep on putting a coffee cup lid under it, but it keeps on snapping.
If
Anyway.
we put your wallet under it, we will leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody in like at 6 o'clock will be like, "Oh, I found a wallet, fabulous."
It's not of any worth to anyone. There's nothing in it.
Fringe is hard.
Fringe is difficult, isn't it? How are you enjoying the Fringe? Is this your first time up here?
It's the first time taking a show up. I came up for the last 3 years researching to take this show up because obviously we've been developing it for so long. The first year was I watched loads of shows and was like, right, Summer Hall, feels right. Second year, I was doing a lot of market research, asking a lot of questions about, which poster of all of these stands out to you, or like, what is it about these theatre shows or these hard-hitting theatre shows that like pulled you in? Like, was it, the venue, or was it the copy, or like, how are people flyering serious theatre shows among so much comedy? Like, what's the hooks they're giving, and like, what do these flyers look like? And yeah, I was sort of doing all of that stuff, and then the third year we went together and was trying to start having some meetings and conversations, and actually we thought we were going to bring a different show originally because we thought this one would be too long. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we started scoping it out for something else that we had started cooking up, which we should probably return to at some point. And then we had a lovely producer, Jade, who turned around to us in September and was like, no, guys, this is the one and you can cut it down and it's going to be fine. And I'm really glad that she kind of gave us that kick. But yeah, it's tough up here. The first week was a bit of a whirlwind, and like we had like really full crowds, and like we were just sort of getting into it, and it was exciting and fun, and like now it's starting to feel trickier. Like it's, I think it's the same for everyone, like numbers have plateaued a little bit now that the 2-for-1s are done. I think it's interesting. We've had some really great reviews and like real mix of stuff, and actually like our West End Best Friend gave us a 5-star, which was delicious, and it was such a great write-up, and the Nerd Party did an amazing write-up as well. And then we've had like so much amazing feedback, and actually some of the critics have said stuff that I haven't even spoken to you about it yet, but have kind of given me ideas and thoughts for when we want to take this on tour. So it's been really helpful. What is interesting, though, about the reviews is how differently they have interpreted things, which is obviously the point of the show. And the point of the show is to start conversation. But I guess reviewers aren't, critics aren't there to be with someone and have a conversation afterwards necessarily, to sort of pull it apart, which is what it's intended for. So these reviews are so different. There's one in particular where I think the misinterpretation, like if, in my opinion, I would, as a woman, if he was someone that was my partner or they, I don't know, I would be concerned about the interpretation, if you know what I mean. But like, it's fine when you're watching it with someone and you can, share and pull that apart, and it's about how you do that. So it's just been fascinating to see those differences come through. We've had some people rely on star ratings though when buying tickets, and a couple of them that are 3 stars are in quite big publications. So I think that's just I think that might have changed some of the numbers, which is just tough when you've been working on the thing for 4 years. But we've got some busier days coming up, so I think it'll all figure itself out.
And what has the reaction been from the audiences? Forget the critics, they don't matter.
Oh
What
my
about the
God.
audiences?
Amazing. Right, you had someone stop you earlier.
No, he didn't stop me. He sort of tapped me and started walking alongside me, actually. It was quite frightening. He was very tall. He sort of tapped me on the shoulder and went, "Hey, I loved your show. Really great show. It was really good. It was enthralling, really unsettling. It was the highlight of my week." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, tall American man." And then off he went.
Mm-hmm.
People have consistently stayed behind to talk to us. And people are like, not in any particular way, it's just that we're in, the Fringe is running at 1 million miles a minute. People will like trail after us to our dressing room and then wait outside. I say dressing room, it's a cupboard. And they'll stand outside the cupboard, which is no denigration to Summer Hall. We love the cupboard, it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a nice little spot.
At least you get a cupboard.
Exactly.
People get a corridor.
Some people get a corridor.
Mm-hmm.
People will kind of wait outside the cupboard / dressing room just to talk to us and say, "Oh, I really thought this about it," or "I felt this about it," or "Me and my friend have been talking about it ever since we came out." They see us in the courtyard or out and about, the mean streets of Edinburgh, and they say, "Oh, really can't stop thinking about your show." So, which is amazing. I think the weirdest thing was that I think in the first week, and even at the previews before coming up here, I remember turning around to Em and going, "Everything that we want people to feel, people are feeling those things. People are thinking the things that we've intended with the structure of the piece. People are going, oh, this." And I've gone, yeah, that's exactly what we said 3.5 years ago. Oh, we want people to feel this. But because it's to this point where it's kind of hitting the fences and people are seeing it, that, I don't know, for me at least, I've always been like, yeah, is it going to work? Are people going to take away that from it? And yeah, people have been really vocal and really friendly and approachable. We're very, very lucky. It's
been amazing. We've been credited for a breakup, but like in a positive way. And we've had people say that it's the best. 2 people have said it's the best piece of theatre they've ever seen, which I do wonder how much theatre they've seen. But that's obviously an incredible response. And someone said that it's the most vital piece of theatre that is at this year's Fringe. And yeah, like I will see people like days after they've seen the show, and they'll be like, "We had like a 4-hour conversation about it." And yeah, it's been kind of wild and amazing.
And what is next for the show after the Fringe? Are you taking it elsewhere? Will it be extended? Maybe a feature film or something? Could it fit into that wall?
Not sure about film, although who knows what can happen. But we have got a show at Genfest in Northampton on the 18th of September at the Royal Theatre, which is an incredible venue and big. And we're very excited about that. And then we are looking to tour next year in the autumn. We might make a reappearance at next year's Fringe. We have not yet discussed or decided, as you know, like a first leg of tour. You never know. But yeah, the next big thing is touring.
That'd be fun if you did come back.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
if they have us back,
it'd be amazing to come back. Yeah, probably a slightly bigger version of the show. We cut the script down a lot and cut 2 characters out. There was going to be a cast of 6, and it's a cast of 4 for costs. And so we'd love to kind of look at reintroducing those, and also sort of building the set in a way that kind of reflects some of the parallels and the things that are underlying in the script. Like we said, the kind of the court trial as a blueprint. It's never mentioned, and it's not explicit, but like we'd love to kind of do more to just hint at those things, so that those things are also on the mind as the conversations are happening afterwards. Because I think a lot of the stuff that we're exploring is a result of, or at least happens alongside, a system in court, the legal system, that's just not working.
Where can people find out more about you and the show online?
We have a website, which is wehadfun.co.uk, and we have our social media handles, hadfunplay, and Jack and I are also on Instagram. I kind of run his Instagram account though, because you don't do social media, so...
Yeah. So you can reach Emmeline at Emmeline Hartley.
Or Jack Mullings.
Or at Jack Mullings on Instagram. Me, you can send me a letter.
Or just come up to you and be like, hey, you, I like your show.
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's preferable, actually. Just approach me in real life.
Especially when he's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today. Good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
We Had Fun is playing at 6 p.m. at the Old Lab at Summer Hall every day until the 31st, not including Tuesday the 25th. For tickets, go to edfringe.com and search for We Had Fun. For now, this is Peter Greenwood saying farewell from the Edinburgh Fringe. See you next time.